Hey everybody, this is Jay with Bonsai Forever. I am going to be working on this. It is a glass bowl that a customer gave to me so that I could put a bonsai tree in this. I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom. I'm going to use a diamond bit on a Dremel tool. It's going to be loud, and kind of a long process. It takes a little while to get through a piece of glass this thick without cracking it or breaking it. So I'm going to fast forward that part and probably play some music so you don't have to listen to the wretched sound that it makes. Okay, so the tree I'm going to be working on is a gardenia. It is not yet a bonsai. It doesn't look like a bonsai yet. I'm going to pot it in here, see if I can do any kind of improvements to it. As of right now, I may or may not be able to. I might have to just let it grow for a while. I'll probably pot it up and give it back to the customer, and then as it grows, once it gets to a point that it needs work, she'll bring it back to me, and then I can do some work to it, and hopefully I can film that. So that would be awesome. So without further ado, let's get to this process here. So I want to use a slow speed. This is a small Dremel tool. It works pretty good for this because I can just hold it kind of like a pencil, and it's got variable speeds. It goes up to 5. I like using it at about a 2. It's not super fast. You can kind of hear that. So that's the speed that I'm going to use it at, so that I don't crack the bowl. So there we go. I'm going to try to find the center, because you want it to be in the center. So I'm only going to drill one hole. Alright, so I think that's pretty well centered. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get it to get started, and once you get started, it's pretty easy to keep it centered. And there we go. So as you can see, I have water in here. I'm going to keep the water in here to keep the bit cool and to lubricate the bit. Obviously you can tell when you go through, the water drains out. Now we're going to make the hole a little bit bigger. bottom. So now let's it onto the tree and set this aside so that I can work on the tree. Alright, so this is what they gave me. This is a gardenia, and this is a rosemary. The rosemary, she really didn't want anything done with the rosemary. I think what I'm going to do is raise it up in the pot, add a little bit more soil, maybe put it in the center of the pot. But I'm going to take this guy out. So let's see what it's going to take to get it out of the pot here without damaging any of the roots if possible. Looks like it's going to be pretty easy. It seems like there is quite a few roots, which is awesome. And I've never really worked on gardenia before at all, so wow, that's some good roots. That's awesome. And it is, like I said in my last video, and this is actually only a few days later, so it is wintertime. It's December 10th now. So anyway, I'm going to adjust the camera. Okay, so good thing I decided to adjust it because y'all couldn't see any of this. Have some tea. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the soil out of these roots, but I want to keep as much soil up here as I can. I'll take all this off because I think I might cut some of this off. Yeah, see, look at that. That's some good roots, which is really encouraging. And then I'm going to just kind of flatten the bottom of this out just a little bit here. Like this. And I don't want to break those branches off, I don't think. I might take these. I'm going to take these branches off anyway, so not too big of a deal. And it doesn't look like this has any really big roots yet. It's got mostly feeder roots, which for now is okay, because at this point obviously we want it just to grow. There's a branch starting right here, so I'm going to take this leaf off, and honestly it's got like 5 branches. It's got 1, 2, 3, well, 4 branches that are really going to help with the look of the tree. So, and it doesn't look like there's really any good solid nabari type of roots on here yet. So I'm just going to dig down a little bit. I don't know if you heard that, but there was a cat fight. It's nighttime out here, so all the crazy is out right now. It's kind of funny, sometimes I'm sitting in here and I'll hear just the strangest sounds, and I'm glad that I'm inside, but then I remember the sides are basically cloth, so if something wanted to get in here, it could. So there's this. I'm gonna pull this out. I'm gonna put this down on the floor for now. I'll do that other part later. Alright, so I got this, got a piece of screen. I got a little bit wider mesh screen for this one. Put the screen in the bottom, make a quick square. I'm going to cut the corners off just to improve the appearance, because you're going to be able to see through the bottom of this, and I don't want to see the screen from the sides. So if I put it right in the middle, you can't see the screen. So that's good. Alright, now this is obviously going to be really big for this dish, which is, again, is perfect, because this needs to grow. This needs to grow a lot for it to turn into a bonsai. What I'm going to tell her is to water it like like it should be watered, and then which, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about gardenias. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research for customers so that I can get it to really grow and get some really nice growth out of it, because it looks also like it's had some pests on it. So I'm going to get rid of those leaves. Alright, and I'm going to take this yellow leaf off. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to do these branches down here. Actually, I might leave those because it does have kind of an inverse taper right here. I don't know if that is an injury. I have no idea what this tree has been through. Okay, so I don't know if that's an injury from something, because it looks like it might have been injured right here. I suppose some of the trunk, I think, is going to help grow a better nabari, because it had some lone roots growing sporadically around the trunk here. I scraped off what soil I scraped off around the top here was to get it down to kind of a radial root base here. So that's what we're going to use. Oh, it's warm enough for a mosquito. I don't think I caught it either. Right, so I'm going to take that one off. Alright, so that's what we're kind of left with, and actually I'm going to take this one off too, because it looks like it had some chew marks on it also. Okay, so that's what we're left with. So I'm going to put some soil in here and bury up these roots really nice and get it set in the soil. I am leaving all of this on it. I'm not going to trim any of these up because I want it to have the best chance of growing. The more roots you have, the more foliage you're going to get. So it kind of goes hand in hand how much foliage and roots you have. So if you have more roots, the roots are going to help the foliage grow. If you have more foliage, the foliage is going to help the roots grow. Alright, so let's get some soil in here. This is my standard bonsai mix. I'm using pumice and turfus and lava rock. And I want to bury it up to about this level because I want to leave some of the glass above the soil level. Yeah, I think that's good. Because this is lower than this. If you can't tell that already. This one's kind of an easy process, not a lot to work with quite yet. And I left most of the roots. Next time I repot this, if I'm able to, it's going to get more of a root prune, and I'm going to take more of the soil out of it and put the more bonsai soil into it. I'm just kind of working the bonsai soil underneath of the plant right now. Get it as tight in this pot as I can. And this should be just fine. I mean, the soil should be able to hold this in here. It's relatively small as it is, so once it starts getting some better roots, it'll really be able to hold itself into the pot. Because with the bonsai soil, it's going to grow better roots. So this tree honestly probably won't need to be repotted, depending on how it grows and how fast it grows, for about 2 years. This is a large pot for this tree, so it shouldn't need repotted for the next 2 years in this soil here, in this pot size. Ideally, I'm pretty sure that you would want to repot gardenias in the springtime. There's most trees do want to repot in the springtime. There's some like some succulents and some tropical plants that you can repot pretty much any time of year, as long as you do the proper aftercare and keep them warm enough. A gardenia is something that you would normally keep outside, so during the wintertime it's going to slow down its growth. A lot of times it puts most of its evergreen trees that live in warmer climates, they're going to put most of their growth into the roots during the wintertime anyway. So that might not be bad that we're replanting it right now. I'm trying to get some of the bonsai soil into the potting soil. And this doesn't settle the same in glass. So that's going to be it for this repotting and really for the training of this tree. I don't think that I want to bend any of the branches right now. Yeah, I'm not going to bend any of the branches right now. I'm going to let it recover from the repot and let it start to grow. I'm going to fertilize it really good with water-soluble fertilizer. And really just let it recover from being repotted. I'm going to keep it in the greenhouse. So it can grow for a little while before I give it back to a customer to probably put it back outside. And it's going to be cold this a little bit this week and into this weekend. So That's why I'm going to keep it in the greenhouse for now. I'm going to put just a little bit more soil over these roots. I want these roots to thicken up. I want them to survive, to thicken up too. So once they thicken up, I think we might try to do a root over rock with this. If it can be done, I kind of looked up to see if I can find some root over rock gardenia bonsai trees on the Google search, and I didn't find any. So maybe we'll be the first, or maybe we'll find out that it's not such a good idea to do so. But I'm going to do some more research on that and find out. But I think that's going to do it for this stream and for this video. And I appreciate you watching. Appreciate all the new subscribers and all the support and questions. I like answering the questions and the comments and all that stuff. It's awesome. Appreciate all that too. So I guess we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.